Hey everybody, welcome to the THC Foodie, where we discuss the business side of cannabis and infused edibles. Today we have on Tyler, and Tyler is an accountant for Mary's Medicinals. If you've ever wondered how people are using cannabis to help them manage the symptoms of diagnoses like back pain, multiple sclerosis, and a host of other diseases, you're going to want to listen to this podcast to the end. Tyler is very well versed in Mary's Medicinals products and how people are using each one of the products to help them manage the symptoms of these diseases. And he has some personal testimonial that's very compelling as well. If you're interested in sharing your story, check us out at thethcfoodie.com or email us at jt@thethcfoodie.com. This podcast is not sponsored by Mary's Medicinal, is meant for entertainment purposes only, and should not take the place of professional medical advice. So tell me a little bit more about what Mary's Medicinals is.
It's a company that makes cannabis into medicine, and they do it through different applications. I like it. It'd be like introducing cannabis to someone who's never smoked before, and you know that cannabis is good for them, and you want to get cannabinoids into their system, but they're hesitant to light up a joint or hit the bong or something like that. But not a lot of people, you can get them to put on a patch, put a patch on their wrist. And we have transdermal technology that allows the cannabis to soak in through your skin, and that way you can get the benefits of using cannabis without having to smoke it. And we have scientists that work there in our lab. And so we're always trying to make the most scientific ways to help people. We use a lot of different cannabinoids, some of them specific. We use things like THC that you may have heard of, but also a lot of CBD. We're one of the only companies to isolate CBN, which has a lot of different benefits. We try to get out these little things. There's like a little cannabis man. Oh. And we have these little information charts that we get out to people, because everybody has what's called an endocannabinoid system, and that's only been discovered since 1992, so it's not even as old as us. One of the people I've ran across so far was a man who had multiple sclerosis, and he said that he used to have these muscle shakes, and he's had them all of his life, and we got him a patch just like this that had THCA, which is a specific cannabinoid out of the maybe 140 or so that are in the plant. And he said he put that patch on just his wrist, and for the next 3 days he didn't have any muscle shakes. And that none of the pharmaceuticals that he's taken so far have been as effective as just that little patch. They also make a lot of things into capsules, or into these little gel pens that you just pump onto your wrist, and then you rub your wrist together, and it's just a little cream that soaks in through your skin. We have these vape pens that are we make one that's a 3-to-1 CBD to THC, and so that allows you to get more medicine in your body with less of a high, because some of us have to do this and go to work. And so, you don't always want to get high. A lot of times you just want to get out of pain. And so, from a patient standpoint, like myself, that's super important. And I was a big fan of Mary's way before I started working for them. Just being able to find an answer to these, to my own solution, but also being able to be there and see all these other people find answers to their problems. We had a little girl come in last week who's a year seizure free because she uses some drops of CBD oil, and it's just quite amazing.
So tell me a little bit more about how you discovered Mary's and how you started using them.
Well, I first discovered them just through a store, just a cannabis store, and they just had different things around, and they had this little skinny thing laying around, and I said, well, what's that? And they said, well, that's a transdermal patch, and I'd never seen anything like that before, and I didn't understand the technology of, well, how is it going to get in? And I don't think it's really going to make me feel anything. And within 15 minutes of putting it on, it was quite a game changer.
So when I was working at Lightshade, we were carrying Mary's, and that's how I found out about it. And I thought the same thing when I saw that patch. I was like, wow, this is like totally a game changer, and I feel like it's going to change the way people even think about this as medicine and how you can utilize this. So one of my favorite stories was one of our customers. He came in, and he was kind of like a regular customer, but he was not from Colorado. He was making trips to drive to Lightshade to get this because that patch was making more of a difference than anything he could get in his own state. So that right then, not only was like I impressed just from like the outside, and then when I tried it myself, but when I started hearing patients come back for this and share their stories, to me as a bud tender, that was so powerful. Every day, like, it felt so good because even though, like, I wasn't the one making Mary's, but I was the one helping connect it to that guy, and then he would tell us, like, his stories, and it felt like I was, like, a weed doctor, and it just made me feel so good that I was, like, helping connect that to people where it was totally changing their lives. So, super cool.
When you say that it made a profound difference with you, how did you feel? What kind of difference did it make right away?
It made my back pain go away almost immediately.
What exactly is in the patch again?
They make different kinds. The ones that I was using at the time were THC sativas, but they have 6 different kinds. They have a sativa-based, an indica-based, CBD, CBN, THCA, and from 1-to-1 of THC to CBD.
So that's good. It's got all these different varieties for people to choose which one might help them more, or even, because a lot of cannabis is trial and error. You kind of like try and assess yourself and see what's working. Really, it's just, okay, I'm going to try this, assess myself, see what's working. Do I need more? Could I maybe get by with less? So it's really a unique plant and medicine like that where you can really cater it to yourself. So it's really cool that they have so many different options, even in like one product. So it's like they have all these patches and different options within that one range of product.
Right. Do you have a patch that is only CBD, no THC in it, for those of us who live in another state where we can't obviously have THC patches shipped to us?
Right. We have a line called Mary's Nutritionals.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to show up here.
And that we only use CBD, and we ship it to all 50 states and Brazil.
Okay, cool. That's very good to know.
And so we have many of our products that are just a CBD line that we send out, our remedy oil and patches and capsules, and Muscle Freeze is a big one that we send out that just does a lot of good work, because CBD is a pretty powerful one just in itself. I mean, it doesn't get you high like its cousin THC, but there's a lot of good benefits that can come. We have these little charts. I was going to try to memorize it. It's just so many benefits. It's analgesic, antibacterial, anticonvulsive, anti-epileptic. I mean, it's just a huge list. And so when people come and they say, well, I have these little elements, I'm like, well, let's try CBD first. A lot of times I have people just start taking a capsule a day, and just to see, you maybe you didn't have vitamin T, CBD in your diet before this. Let's see how that helps out. And I mean, just in my personal life, it's been great. We take a CBD capsule in the morning, a CBN capsule at night to help us go to sleep. I use the 3-to-1 vape pen during the day. Mary's offers a distillate, which is like their concentrate. And so I might do one of those in the evening, just a little to put me to sleep, or whatever the back pain situations may be that day. But I like how they have a lot of options, but all medicinal options. I mean, it would take a couple of patches to get anybody to the point that they feel too uncomfortable. It would take
like too uncomfortable, like as in too high.
Too
you know,
high
some people
like
don't
that.
do well with too much THC.
You know, some people love to do that, and they'd love to just load up their arms with patches. But, you know, you don't always want grandma to feel too uncomfortable. You know, she's trying to get out of pain, or, you know, we're trying to get her off all these pills. My wife and I have gotten off of 16 pills a day.
Between the both of you?
Between the two of us.
All the cannabinoids really work together so well. So not only can you use them individually, you could even use them in a synergistic way, and they're going to even be that much more effective together.
Do you have a product or business you want to share? We want to know what you have to say. Leave us a comment on our website at thethhcfoodie.com or on Twitter at SafeTHCFoods.